Hello, everyone, and it's about that time for episode 2 of my shrimp boat build. In the last episode, we did essential systems and underdeck layout, as well as starting up the crew quarters. In today's episode, we are going to finish up the crew quarters and set up the engineering bay. So let's get to it. So we start off in the crew quarters. I'm actually want to raise these beds by a block. That way, these normal beds aren't really close to the ground. And add a small overhanging table using a pyramid. Inverse pyramid, that will work better. Yeah, just a small overhanging table. And under the beds, I'm gonna hold a small area for this. I'm gonna add some Arctic clothing. So you won't freeze to death when you go outside. Moving on to the engineering bay. For this one, we actually have time to make the table. Well, not time, but room to make the tables decently high up and to add more systems, like a security system. This can easily be done by just laying out tables, and on this side I will put the CCTV system, which will probably monitor the engineering bay, upper deck, front deck, rear deck, front deck, and helm. But to start out, we are going to clear out area for panels with buttons, stuff I need. And I want every button I have down to have like an actual purpose. So like a key button to emergency shut down the engine and stuff like that. So first off, I'm gonna add a fire suppression system. So we need another tank. This time it's gonna be a medium. Some pumps and some hose. I think they're just called nozzles, I guess. And yep, fluid nozzle. Alright. And yep. So I'm gonna find a place to put the fire suppression system. Probably up here. Up here would be a good spot. And there's not gonna be like a refill area, just because if you're using a fire suppression system, whole boat would probably have to be reassembled and stuff. I'm actually gonna hang it up on the ceiling a bit more instead of going so low. That way the water will have more time to spread out. But we're gonna have a nozzle for the batteries, because those like to catch fire if you damage them. We are also gonna have a nozzle for the engines, because those are the other things that will catch fire. So we're actually gonna reroute it this way, so it works more like a sprinkler system. And have it so all of these go down. This is a feature I had in my last boat, but I didn't execute it the best. But now it should be executed pretty well. Then we're also just gonna have the last little bit of this kind of just cap out with a fluid port, end fluid port. I'm gonna hook these up to electric, and this time I'm gonna make sure to set it to water, because last time I had it set to diesel, so it didn't do anything. Up here we're also just gonna have it end out with a fluid port. Which kind of sucks, but it's just fine. And then I can delete all of this and throw in a pump. It won't hit all of the batteries as well, but it should be fine. Hook these each up to their respective electrical batteries. Electrical systems. And add a button right over here. So it's just going to be a toggle button. That's just going to be called right fire sup, and again hook up to the right engine's power supply and to the right engine's pump. And I'm gonna do the same for the left engine. So left ENG. Fire SUP. Which will hook up to that and hook up to the left engine's power sup. Or power supply, whatever you want to call it. Right. And we're gonna have some other emergency systems on here for the engines, each on their respective side. And after that we're gonna have readouts. Dial. There we go. So we're gonna have like some gauges, some dials, all the stuff you realistically need. There we go. And then both back up to that. And have a primary gauge laying be not tank pressure, fuel level, tank content, and then tank pressure can be our secondary gauge display. So tank pressure is secondary, tank content, and then fuel pressure slash level. There we go. We can do about everything. Fuel pressure slash level, and our on and off can be hooked up to this, which would be right hinge systems. And then over here we can have this one being left hinge systems. So then go to the backlight for everything up on the dials. So that would be a pretty good system. After we hook up all of these to the same electrical line, we can work on some dials like RPS. And RPS, I'm trying to think of what else there could be, air intake, stuff like that. And actually, you know, generator output, so you have to kind of look at what we can do, and temperature and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what I was missing. So left hinge RPS, and then the other one will be left hinge temperature. Left hinge. I'm just gonna put temp instead of temperature because I don't feel like typing out temperature. And up here we can have, probably not generator output, but exhaust flow rate, and well, no, that's air intake. Air intake and exhaust flow rate. So we're gonna have this one be air intake. Can just hook this up to the impaler pump, and this can be exhaust. I don't know how to spell exhaust. Who knows how to spell exhaust? No one knows how to spell exhaust. How did I? That looks weird. Wait. That looks really weird. And yeah, got exhaust flow rate. And of course, all of these will be hooked up to left hinge systems. Of course, air intake's hooked up, and exhaust flow rate's hooked up, and everything's hooked up. So now we just need to do that for this side. So this should be left engine OPS, so this will be right ENG OPS. Of course, just move to OPS, and it's really just the same thing. Might as well hook all of these up already. So this is going to be right inch temp. At least that's what it should be. Yep, right inch temp. So right ENG and temp. This should be air intake. I'm actually going to put in left ENG air intake. Left, I did it with the left ENG exhaust flow rate and air intake, yeah, and left in systems. Actually going to capitalize engine ENG and capitalize left. I don't know why I didn't capitalize these first now. Fuel pressure / level, that's fine. Then fires up. And over here should be, yep, we need to capitalize all of that. Right. And systems. So we got red in systems, red in temp. This is right inch air intake. So right inch air intake. Right inch exhaust flow rate. Alright, and we just need to hook these up. So this is exhaust flow rate. So put that there, and this is air intake. So we're gonna put that there. Let's check it out in game. There it is. Looks like it's leaning forward a lot, so hopefully all the engines in the back will fix that. I also need to have a ladder system to get below deck, probably about here, honestly. It'll fit there perfectly. And yeah, engine seal looks fine. And then over here we have everything, except we need to seal that up. Temp is actually pretty cold because it's cold outside. We actually need to fix that inside. Of course, bunks. So if we go up here and say we start the engine, we'll see air intake is kind of going up, some negative. That's not good. Temp's going up. OPS is good. Exhaust flow rate's pretty good. Fuel pressure is 40. Fuel pressure is 40 here. It's pretty uniform. Fire stuff, which does work. And left in systems, which just turns on all of the lights. And hopefully, we probably won't be able to see it too well, because I don't have a sticky throttle, which I am going to add to this, but unlike my last one. When I go back down here, I can kind of see everything go up. Yep. Air intake, I probably have to actually reverse the air intake, but that's for a different video. So helm, WS will be sticky, but AD will be reset. That's probably a good idea. Alright, now up here we need navigation systems, which I like to build into into the ship in a more immersive way, not just thrown down on the helm. So I'm gonna have a nav ball right here. So nav, I'll just put a ball. Oh, it's a compass ball. It's practically a nav ball. It's the same thing. And I'm actually gonna make that look a bit better by doing this and getting an inverse pyramid, so kind of just flows into it. There we go. So we got a nav ball, which I think will light up something different. Yeah, I think I need to change some stuff. I do need a nav ball to be here, but I don't think a 4 wide would do well to the dial setup I'm gonna have, so I'm actually gonna do this. Nope, undo that. There we go. And then we're gonna have 2 dial setups over here, so dial, and then have meters per second on this one. So speed, and then m/s, and that will go to a linear speed sensor I'm going to set up. Over here we'll have something different, and then we're going to kind of cap them both off with this. So it kind of fits in a bit better than if we didn't do that. I'm also probably going to leave these 2 windows in favor for some smaller windows, so I can also do this, so it's even better than just kind of sitting up. Nah, way too blocky. Yeah, so I'm going to get a speed sensor. Linear speed sensor is what I need. I'm just gonna throw this up here. I'm gonna hook that up to speed meters per second and make that directional, probably horizontal. Yep. So we've got speed meters per second, and these will light up on a different control board I'm gonna have over here for top deck engineer. Also gonna grab some 2x2 wedges to make this just a bit better than it is. Because right now it's not doing too good. So we're gonna grab an inverse pyramid. And then I can fix that pretty easily with just a normal pyramid. So 2x2 pyramid, that's all I need. And I can even expand this out a bit better. I probably need to turn it back on symmetry here pretty soon. And just delete that. And get a normal wedge, which will blend this in way better. Yeah, there we go. That looks nice. And of course, no, wrong thing, yeah. This stuff won't be seen. We can just get rid of that way easier. And this out. And when we hit this, first pyramid, so might as well grab 2. One for over here. And again, I forgot to turn on symmetry, and I'm still not going to do it. There we go. And that'll just kind of help the helm blend in a bit better. Fairly basic bridge design, but it works. Up here, I'm probably going to add some weather sensors, but yeah. So far, we should be good. Where is it? Yeah, I'm going to throw on some spotlights, but probably not rig them up. Just have them there for when I actually am going to go rig them up. Put on a radiation detector that will never be connected to anything, because it is decorational. And some spotlights up here, and some rear facing spotlights back here. Oh, the back of the hall is not looking good. See that? It's so boxy. Why is it so boxy? Yeah, I'm gonna fix that. Let's make it look a bit better. And there, fixed. Kinda. I'm actually gonna try to fix this. Hall design confuses me. That's why I don't make my own halls. So it looks good up to about here, and then it just starts falling apart. I think we need to do something here actually too. Let's see. 2x4. We could just give this thing a try. I'll just do my best to patch this up. Even if it looks bad, it'll be better than nothing. These 1x4 pyramids. Wish I had 1x3 pyramids, so it'd be nice to have. Yeah, it's decent. It's not the best work ever, but it's decent work. Definitely doesn't stick out as badly as the other work I tried to do there. And then I also have to fix that. So just use a 1x4, and yeah, that's all for this part. I think next video I'm gonna work on more helm systems, and we got most of the engineering bay done except for a couple gauges that I'm gonna have to add later in the building because of what they're gonna do. So that's all for today's, well, not today's video, but this video.